Welcome back. You're listening to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Or streaming live video at SinCityBounty.com.
There we go. We are in studio with our hero, Mama, who saved our buddy's life, DJ. DJ's Carpet. Usually see him in chat. We got him in studio just a day out of the hospital and having a stent put in.
For those of you who just joined, DJ had a heart attack over the weekend on Saturday night. And
last weekend, not yesterday.
Yeah, last weekend.
That was an amazing recovery.
And for this last week, we've been keeping up on his progress in the hospital. Mama has been at the hospital almost the entire week. Daniel's family all came into town, all 13, 14, 15, 200 of them. And we have grown closer because of this, but we also learned a lot.
We did.
And so this show is dedicated to all the things that we have learned from it and what you guys need to do. What are you showing, Mama?
A picture of DJ and his nurse.
Send it via email to me, and I can pull it up and put it on the Ustream.
So, Mama, for those of you who are watching the video live, I know that you see it. For those of you who are listening to a podcast, downloaded from iTunes, thank you very much for doing that. You can catch the video of the picture over on our YouTube. Just go to
We should
SinCityBounty.com.
post all of these on the website.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
we
the
will.
special. The
We
one
can.
special.
So
one of my nurses,
once she's
one of my nurses
when she
works
sends
in
all the
part of
pictures to you for you to use, you send them to me, and then I'll make sure they go up in our
Yeah,
archive.
good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Well, one of our nurses is
You recruiting people from the
yes.
hospital?
Yes, she's good. She's supposed to be showing up with her husband to one of our upcoming events, and if she does, I said, I promise, if I see you, I will introduce you to everybody that I know.
Oh, awesome.
And
We would
so
love that.
You
I
see
said
this?
it's not a club, and when I mentioned to a person about this, then whatever, she goes, I know what you mean. I said this place is very club, but when you see, goes anyone's welcome. I said, yeah, anyone's welcome. However, when the smaller person shows up, they're not excluded, but it's almost like people look at them like they look at the plus size person that goes to the studio.
Yeah, Studio 54 or something.
You
Yeah.
know, so I said it's a very, very friendly environment. Sometimes the side effect is someone that used to cover up, all of a sudden don't cover up no more. And then of course Mama showed her a picture. She says, "Oh my."
Well, we were doing it. I was trying to invite her to an event, and he put it on his page first. He's like, I don't even have those events, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. I was like, he's like, go and invite her, and then that way you can send her the invite. So I sent her on my Mama page because that's where all the stuff is. And I said, yeah. She's like, yeah, I seen your invite. I was like, well, I just sent you one from mine. And so I showed her my page. She goes, oh, wow. Like,
It's boobies.
Do you think we ought to take care of Daniel's problem with Wendy?
Actually, she just put in chat, his smile in that photo looks a bit too big for that not being Mama. And Sierra put that Mama was taking the pic. Does that count? And Wendy of Neverland said, kinky.
yeah, that nurse at that point was taking out his
Pick line.
the pick line in his neck. So yeah, it was pretty. He's like, I was like, ugh, that's like, he's like, take a picture. I was like,
So I know before we went to break, you had something that you wanted to
yeah,
talk
go ahead.
about.
In the case like Mama and DJ had, where one of you takes care of the bills regularly and the other one doesn't, so you don't really know what's going on. Every single line of credit, any creditor that you may have,
Which includes your Nevada Power,
Which includes
if
Nevada
you're local,
Power, right.
your water bill, your gas bill.
they all have. They're required by law, actually, to have a program or something that will stop those fees when the main wage earner in the house is no longer earning a wage because they're in the hospital.
Actually, you know what? At one point when I was sitting in the waiting room, I was talking to his buddy, and I was like, he was telling me this and paying a bill, and I don't know, and I don't want power to get shut off and shit like that. And this guy that was in there, I don't know who he was. He was on the phone, and he said, by law, they are not allowed to turn it off. If you go and tell them that there is an issue, he's like, they can they'll continue to rack up the bill, and they'll let you pay a certain amount on it, something to that effect. I didn't have to go that far, but the guy said yes. As a matter of fact, he's like, I've been through that before, and he told me. And there's a lot of things that people you don't know until
just-
somebody tells you. They don't offer that out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's not like
something they want to make
Right.
a
It's
commercial about.
Yeah, it's not like Visa's going to advertise, "Hey, we're going to take your late fees off if your spouse is in the hospital."
Right.
But that is there. It is available. You just have to call and ask.
You
and
do
most
have
of the time,
to.
most of the time they do require some document from the hospital,
I
and
got plenty of those.
Yeah, I don't think we understand that one.
and generally all it takes is you telling your head nurse or your charge nurse, whoever's on taking care of your floor, not the nurse who comes in and checks your piss, but the nurse who's writing names down on the whiteboard. Look, I have to do this with my bill, and they need a document from the hospital, and then they will call records and documents, and they'll get that document for you.
Awesome.
And most of the time, I'm going to say 90% of the time, all of this stuff is free. There's no additional charge for any of it. But you have to ask. So many people don't know to ask because they just assume, because usually your creditors, your credit card company, your mortgage company,
Don't give a fuck.
they don't give a fuck.
Well, and they don't know what's happening. They just know
Right.
your bill's late.
They just know
Yeah,
your bill's late.
that's right.
If you just call and you say, "Look, my husband, he usually pays the bills," because every time you call in to make a payment, every record.
Or my husband's the breadwinner.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
husband makes the money, and he's in the hospital. He's had a heart attack. We don't know what's going to happen to him, and I know this is due and that's due, and all you have to do is call and tell them. And I'm going to tell you, I've never heard of a case where the creditor has said, "Tough titty said the kitty." They all have some sort of grievance program
One of the
or something
conversations
like
that I
that.
just recently had with Mama, actually, I've had this conversation a few times, is I needed her to find a way to qualify. Our loans on my home is not that big, but I told her I need her to find a way to qualify for this loan. Win, lose, or draw, things happen, whatever happens, I need her to be able to qualify for this because I don't need the bank coming back and trying to screw her out of her property, but she can't. She goes, "Honey, I've been doing nails for 20 years. I get that, but you know what? We were in a housing bubble for the longest time, and the same qualifications that you qualified to get a house for 10 years ago doesn't exist anymore.
Can you get, because I know that my house,
I know I'm
that insurance, that if one of you dies, it's automatically paid off.
I'm
for
going
the
to do
other.
that
Yeah.
starting next month.
Good deal. Because
So,
that's the best route to go.
Hopefully they don't require,
A medical.
yeah, because
Right.
that might be
I
an
need your
issue.
medical history. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know that, because it's not a life insurance. It's usually part of your homeowner's insurance.
Yeah.
okay.
So if you call the homeowners and add that policy on, I think. I'm not positive, but I just went through this because my dad holds the mortgage on my house and he's 71 years old. So that was his concern about the same thing. So I know he has some kind of insurance that if he passes away, that house is paid off. So I'm sure you can get that in either case.
At the basic level, you need to know your spouse's or partner's Social Security
Yes.
number because that's what they
Absolutely.
use to get into almost every account.
And you would have had no problem getting into any of his accounts had you usually if you know that. Did you know his Social Security number?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I would have a bigger
There-
problem getting in hers because I know my social. I do not know hers. It's
Here-
not something I have written
Well,
down
that's
anymore.
that's one of the things that we're gonna write down when we have our social security numbers. What our
One of
you know,
the
account numbers,
one
stuff
of
like
the
that.
other things you need to do, my mom and I do this. When you have an account, any account, I can access any of my mom's accounts because I know the last four digits of her Social Security number. But there's a lot of people who do because my mom's kind of frivolous with that information. But we have a security password, and it's the same password on all the accounts, both mine and hers, so that if something happens, because my mom was very sick for a while, and I did have to take care of a lot of things. I know the last four of her social and the security password. You can access anything. And if it's the same password across the board, you don't have to try
That's
to
an
remember
excellent idea.
a different
that's
thing.
what-
Now, I
That's
have
what
the
we
same
have.
issue. My mom is an old Asian woman, and she's not married yet. She is planning on marrying her
Boyfriend
partner
of a
right now,
billion years.
who is going to be secondary on her account. But until that point, until she decides that that's who she's going to want to marry, I know I deal with all the stuff, and I go over at least once a month. I usually see her once a month, and we take care of whatever it is. I take her to go pay bills or set up whatever. I know we just switched insurances a while ago, so I took her to that appointment. And it's just something that you learn as you go what it is that you need. But there are places online that you can go download forms. One of the things that I looked into
Power of attorney.
right after Daniel had this thing and he was clear. Once he was clear, one of the things that I looked up was for family history. I don't know Silent Mike's family history at all.
Mm.
Okay, I do know a little bit. I do know that men in his family die young.
Well, and you remember
And-
when that doctor came out and asked Mama that first morning, it was a really good thing that Daniel's mom was there.
Yes.
So yeah, you're right.
Now, so there actually is a bracelet out there that is a USB drive, and I think it's called a Care bracelet, and it's got a software built in where you fill out a form about your family history. So it's there. It's like a Red Cross
that's
bracelet.
Great.
It's waterproof. You can swim with it and everything like. It's pretty awesome.
And the hospitals know now if you have one of those to pull off the USB on that.
It looks like a medical care bracelet, and
Okay.
it's
Medical
becoming
alert.
like a medical alert bracelet. That's right. Because if you have like the little Red Cross one, there's
Yeah, you
100
flip
characters.
It over, yeah.
And so if like you're allergic to penicillin, that's on there. But if you have family history that needs to be known, you can put all of that information on the drive, including people to contact, phone numbers, because a drive can hold a lot of information.
Right.
So you can have all that stuff right on your wrist, have it passcoded to the hospital, because I think the hospital has a master passcode that they can get in, and there you go. So you can have all that stuff. So I think I'm giving that to everybody for
Do you
the
have
holiday.
a website or something? Do you know, just by chance that anybody could go look for it, or what kind of search should they do? Because that's very cool.
It's called Care Medical Bracelet.
Okay.
CARE Medical Bracelet. You can pick it up at Walgreens. You can pick it up at
Really?
Walmart.
Okay.
It's like $20, I think it is. Well, you know what? I'll post a link on Alexia's page and on the SinCityBounty page.
Okay,
for
awesome.
It. It's very cool. There's an issue with Mac and Windows.
Because you can put on there all the medications you're taking,
Right.
All your family history.
Right.
I mean,
Contact
that's
information.
everything that the hospital needs to know
That's right.
immediately.
Mhm.
And because my daughter couldn't tell you what medication I take for my arthritis.
My first thought was, "Ooh, I could make $1 million with this idea," but I found it on the
It's
internet,
already
so
made.
it's already made. So I can't make the $1 million with it. But
It's an excellent
I'll see if
idea.
there's an affiliate program we can sign up for.
And you know what? I just had a thought, and I'm gonna do my thought probably with, hopefully, I don't know if I'm gonna cry or not, but you guys know that he rides his bike a lot,
Right?
and
I'm gonna get a bracelet.
that's something that could have happened while he was riding his bike, and
Right.
nobody would have ever known, nothing to do anything to.
Yeah, that would
know.
be excellent for him. You're right.
Actually,
for him.
I-
Because
I-
you ride a
would-
lot in lonely places.
Well,
Yeah.
here's-
Yes, but you know what? The routes I take are well traveled by cyclists, so it would be.
If
I-
something happened and you
if-
fell off your bike, somebody
you
would
have
find
no
you
idea.
easily.
You have no idea how many times I slow down. Well, maybe not every day, but I slow down consistently and constantly on my rides because someone's broke down on the side of the road. You okay? So if I rode by a cyclist that was falling over and they weren't moving, we stop. And everyone has an iPhone, everyone has a Garmin, everyone has a.
And you
a
know
form
what?
of
This is a
communication.
great.
Cyclists take care of cyclists, so I'm not as worried about that because it may not be seconds, but within minutes there'll be somebody coming up my ass.
But it's a great idea because I'm not sure if I seen somebody on the side of the road, my first inkling would be to check if they had a bracelet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. My first inkling would be, let me save this person. Do I need to do CPR? But it's good to know to just always mentally.
That's
Well,
take a look and
paramedics
see.
are trained to look for this.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's
So-
something you should know too. If you ever decide to give help to somebody, there is a Good Samaritan clause here.
Yes.
If you hurt someone in the process of trying to save their life, you can't be sued in the state of Nevada.
Right.
That's
right.
correct.
So don't hesitate to stop. Never hesitate to stop. And in my mind, I don't care what fucking state you're in. If somebody needs help, you need to stop and help them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't care
it
who
sucks
you
that some of
are.
the states have gone to that where frivolous lawsuits. So
Yeah.
I try to save your life and you're suing me.
Yeah.
Right.
So
You
here's
know.
Because
here's the
I
thing.
cracked your rib, giving
Every-
you CPR.
Every time you stop to help somebody, if they are unconscious, you need to check their neck and their wrist, because now medical alerts come in necklaces as well. So check their neck and their wrist for any sort of jewelry, because that jewelry can be disguised as medical alert bracelets these days. That will usually give you all the information you need. My son has a medical alert bracelet. He doesn't have it on right now, but it's got his pediatrician's phone number on it.
Mhm.
So if anything should happen, at least his pediatrician
And
will be
it's a
called.
very kid style bracelet.
Yeah,
If-
it
if-
is.
Which
We're
is
getting a
cool.
new one.
Yeah.
If you have important things that need to be known, I highly suggest not getting jewelry as a medical alert bracelet. I suggest wearing a medical alert bracelet. If you're
Right.
allergic to
Yeah.
penicillin, you need to have a medical alert
Right, so
bracelet.
they know
they're-
there's no
if-
question about what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And they are so inexpensive. There are so many websites. Lawrence Hope is a good one, medicalalert.com. You can get just the tag for $5 usually, fully engraved, and then you can put it on any band you could braid something to put it on.
I actually
or
need to
something.
carry around the card that shows
You have a stint.
the stint, the manufacturer, who put it in, and where it's at. They need to.
They need to know.
That's something that they didn't give it to me because they didn't have the card at the time. But they said when you see the cardiologist next week, make sure you get that, and they want me to carry that around for at least 1
And
year.
you should get a medical alert bracelet too, and just have the back of it just say stint, and they'll know to look for your stint card.
Maybe as early as tonight.
Vendetta says that usually the necklace is black.
Usually,
Mm-hmm.
usually
Oh.
is, but these days,
So
like
go with my
the
shirt.
website that I mentioned, it's that I order medical clothes from my son from, because they have a lot of children's sizes. Is Lawrence Hope. I'm not doing a plug for them because I just found a new one that's got better stuff on it. I'm gonna order his new one from there. But I mentioned them because they do have a very low cost $5 bracelet. Shipping is never more than $5. So for $10 you can usually get just a bracelet with all the characters you need on it.
You should
engraved.
post that link on our Curvaceous Bounty
There's not
page.
a
I will.
limit to the amount of characters.
No, there's
Yes.
usually a
Okay,
limit.
see that would be my thing because I would want on
It's
mine.
like writing a Twitter post. It's under 140, usually just 100.
Yeah.
See?
But all you
You can
need
get
to
a lot
put
of
on
info
there.
in 100
Yeah,
characters.
Yeah, you
Well,
could
I
put a
like
lot
the
of
medical-
info.
I like the one you're talking about where it's
The USB.
a flash drive.
USB,
But
right.
one of the things you can put on a medical alert bracelet is search wallet for further information, and you can have everything printed
As
on.
long as you have your wallet on you. Do you have your wallet on
Always.
you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only time I don't have it on me is when I'm in the pool, but it's about 10 feet away.
The medical the
You're
medical
usually given 3 lines. You do the first 2 lines, the most important medication or important
Right.
allergy you have, and then the last line is search wallet for further information, or call doctor and give a name, or
Right.
call.
See, that's what I
whatever.
would want to do. Put the medications I was on because it's not like.
Well, the most
I-
important thing should go on an engravable bracelet. Things like penicillin, things like
allergies, yeah.
epilepsy, if you have an form
Right.
of epilepsy or something like that, or any important
Pacemakers,
medication.
anything like that.
Right.
Right.
Oh, yeah, with me, I got blood thinners right now, and the blood thinners, they need to know not to give me any more,
Right.
Right.
because
Or if they
And-
try to do a trach or something on you, you're bleeding
I'm
out.
bleeding out.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
When my mom was on blood thinners, her doctor told her all you need to do is put the name of your blood thinner on the thing. You don't even have to put the dosage, just the name. So she
Yep.
had
So they know
her
what it
medical alert bracelet. You flipped it over. It had one word on it. It just said warfarin. Every medical doctor knows warfarin's a blood thinner. They all know. They knew what she was on. They knew how she was being cared for.
is. And any paramedic or ambulance that wasn't aware of it,
Probably
I-
not in the right business.
no, even if they weren't aware of it, they'd see it, they punch it in.
They
That's
know.
what it is.
Right. Right.
So they have a database that tells them.
Now, I really like the idea of the USB thing.
Me
I
too.
really love that because
That's a
it can
great
hold a lot of
idea.
information. So I do plan on getting some and maybe giving those out for either
You know
Christmas
what's
or
great is because
holidays, and we can try them out and test them and see how they work.
Because
So
when you go in the hospital, they want a full family history.
Yeah.
They want to know for women your last period,
Mhm.
when, how many live births you've had, how many pregnancies you've had, all of that. Other than just the relevant stuff like your allergy, but everything that they ask you on a you could already have that done, and it's done before.
and you just have to keep it
anything.
updated.
You're gonna
Which
update
you
that
Great
monthly?
idea. What?
You're gonna update that monthly?
Well, either that or I mean, or most women, you could even say something to the fact like me, like I'm very regular, usually the end of the month, very regular. If somebody says I have you can put it there, I have irregular periods. That just lets them know what to expect from your body.
Or you can
Right.
put like 712. Fuck. They'll understand. They understand that you start leaking.
All right, we've got about 7 minutes left for this segment. Let's tell Wendy what it is that you want.
Wendy, okay. I'm on a lot of blood pressure medicine right now. I understand what this sometimes does to a guy. So what I need from you is I need to learn how to become a better lesbian. I understand that tongue goes in first. I need to know how to get it in second, third, and fourth without her being oversensitive.
Or
So-
can fingers be used in between? So
Oh,
it'd be
no,
like
no,
tongue, fingers, tongue,
That-
fingers.
that's
a given. I already
Yeah,
know.
that's in conjunction.
in
with.
conjunction
And
with.
anybody,
In conjunction.
and anybody out
I
there
mean-
who would like to become his surrogate, please send me an email.
Send me the email too. Shit.
DJ's like, oh my God, did I just get a hall pass?
Yeah.
Me.
My website address is.
Oh, the circuit is for Mama.
Oh, you.
Don't you have one?
I thought I
I
need
need a live one.
You don't need a live one. You got the Irishman.
Oh. Okay, she's looking for a surrogate.
Stop talking in code. People online
No.
can't understand.
Yeah, she's looking for surrogate penis because Mama, she enjoys the tongue, but she'd make if she
Wendy's
came,
got an answer for us.
if Mama came back as a woman, I'm sorry, as a man, she would be gay.
Yes.
She does not do pussy.
Neither do I.
She loves the
If she
dick.
came back as a man, she'd
She'd be gay because she.
Okay, not a woman, a man.
Yeah. She only does dick.
Okay.
She only does dick. And so sometimes I put my tongue down, but she gets to orgasm, but she's still mad because she got the orgasm from the tongue instead of the goddamn dick. She's, God damn it! I wanted to come like this. Oh,
So the lesson that Wendy has is pretty basic, which all men should have learned when they were 11, I think, 11 or 12.
Well, we pick
Look,
our
my
nose.
kid is not that far away from that. He ain't eating no goddamn pussy or learning no goddamn tricks.
Wait. Is it what Sam Kennison says? Lick the alphabet?
That's exactly what she
Ah!
said. She says, "Do you know the alphabet and can you teach your tongue?"
You
know what? I've done that. I've had a few better results with the suckling because she's got a penis.
She does have a little Canadian. I love your smoky.
A little smoky.
I'm not a dick sucker, but you know.
Wait, so I got a question for you, Mama. You don't do vagina, but would you let vagina do you? Would you let a girl go down on you?
Maybe
Well,
in the
you could
dark.
always- wait a minute. You
She's
could
all-
always
maybe in the
close your
dark.
eyes and think of it like Vin Diesel's like licking my pussy.
Oh, he ruined that for me. Rock, maybe.
Into the.
Oh, The Rock's on a new show
You know,
too.
I
The
know,
Hero.
I
Yeah.
know. I was like, oh, he has a show.
Yeah, Mama doesn't like Vin Diesel. She used to have a fantasy about him. Then I shaved my head.
Plus,
and-
he's little. I don't.
What do you mean he's
Okay,
little?
so
He's
let's.
5'11".
So if a woman was
thought he was
licking
shorter
your
than that.
little
No.
smoky, could you imagine it being The Rock?
You're
Close your
5'6"
eyes and it's
Mayberry.
dark.
I don't know. Let's have to get back to me on
She
that.
doesn't know if she can get there or not.
But isn't that sort of a discourtesy to the woman licking your pussy?
Oh hell no!
that
They
you-
don't know what's in your brain.
No.
They don't need to know.
Look, beauty is only a light switch away, baby.
That's true.
Wendy says your mileage may vary.
As far as what?
I don't know. Probably as far as you can get into the alphabet.
Oh no. I have endurance.
You had it.
I am-
I was gonna
No.
say you had endurance.
Well, damn,
You
I
had a
gave
little-
myself a heart attack last
Look,
night. Fucking-
wait, this is. Let me tell you, this is another thing too. Speaking of, so when they kind of pushed me out of the room after the paramedics came and stuff, and they shocked him, and then I heard that they shocked him again when they were at the hospital. Paddles, whatever. And all I was thinking was, he's a fucking electrician. What the hell is that gonna do? Because he came home and told me, he touched some shit, and he's 10,000 volts. I got zapped today, or what is it? You say zap? Is it zapped?
I got
Bit.
Yeah,
I
I
got
got
bit
bit.
today.
So you're thinking he's had all this electrode through him that this
Right,
paddles ain't gonna do.
That's like nothing.
I've literally, I was
Whatever.
on a job where they were making out some wire,
That's
and I
funny.
mean, there's no amperage, none, so it's less injury. But I did get hit with 10,000 volts,
Wow.
and my arm was tingly for a
Well,
quite a
I was
while.
telling Mama, I said, well, Mama, when you had to pull him off and he went, boom, you might have started his heart back up.
Right, yeah. I pulled his ass. I was like, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I was like, well, I got to do it.
Whoa! Hold the fucking phone and read the chat room.
Oh,
What
what's
happened?
that?
Wow.
What?
Vendetta says, "I've had a dude blow me before. It's no biggie."
Wow, Vendetta, we at a whole new level now.
I want to watch that.
Hey, will
We
you
have
send a
seen
picture
that.
of that to the Pecker page? Please?
Wendy of Neverland says, "Hey, maybe if the woman had a goatee, you wouldn't mind it so much."
Oh, Lord.
Look,
I could put a merkin on my face.
dude, speaking of Merkin, I was driving home from work the other day, and some dude cut me off in a little tiny car, and his license plate said Merkin.
Oh, that's funny.
I laughed my ass off. I'm like, you're such a cock sucking.
I told
was
you
so
all
mad at my
before that I
Merkin.
had my original path to health was because I didn't like that that was
But
happening
this
in my
could
life.
very well
But then you
temporarily.
know what? And if it's not temporary, before I knew it was something I can do something about. I think I'll do better with it now, knowing that it either A is going to happen or B is not going to happen, and it's not my fucking fault.
Well, and the thing is, DJs, I'm sure they have you on more medication, and they will slowly wean you off of some of
Well,
that.
there's some
So
medication.
some of them, yeah, that he only has to take. They said for about a year.
Right. So, and as you go to the cardiologist and you start getting your activity back up, I mean, I would
Speak
feel
to your
for a
doctor and ask
40-year-old
if you're
man.
sexually healthy for if you're
Oh no, I'm
healthy
on.
for sexual
Matter of fact,
activity.
I made sure I wanted full disclosure. I wanted nothing left out when I talked to the doctor. So I had Mama take a picture of all my vitamins I take in the top shelf. I told the doctor about the testosterone. I was supposed to be very well monitored. Could this have caused it? And the doctor says, well, not unless you were using it in excess for years. I told him how much I was using. He goes, no. You were at 333 and you got 1 milliliter. No, you're fine.
Because
So-
I had asked one of the doctors at one point, could he have overdone it? Like, were you over exercising? And that doctor, that was that young guy. He was so nice that one morning. I think it was Sunday morning when I was there with you, or Monday morning. And he said, maybe it could be any. We won't know nothing until we get in there. But
when
they
got
did
in
say
there, when they got in there, they saw the vessel that had Charlotte. They called it a napkin.
They called it a napkin ring arterial inclusion, I believe.
So what does that mean?
In the picture I saw, basically like when you have fancy napkin, on the table and you have the napkin ring and it kind of squishes it in the middle. Well, in the vein, it was you could see it. It
Artery.
was like it was squished in,
like an
somehow-
hourglass
some
kind of.
yeah,
Yes.
like it pinched itself in the middle for
And then
somehow.
so it had nothing to do with
Right.
It had nothing to do with
It
me.
wasn't a natural blockage of an artery because of cholesterol or anything like that. It was just
Shit
that
happens.
artery wanted to stick
Shit
together.
happened.
Yeah.
Shit happened.
Hey, you're listening to the Curvaceous Bounty on VegasAllNightRadio.com, streaming a live video over on SinCityBounty.com. I love BBW, Sweet Cheeks' biggest fan,
I
who
love
called
you.
her a diamond surrounded by sapphires, finally joined us in chat. So he's very
Good.
excited to be there. When we come back, we're going to do a whirlwind of catch-ups because it is 9:30, ladies.
This show has whizzed by, but I think we've given people some really
I
valuable
Yes.
information.
I think you're
Yes.
absolutely
I
right.
want to start practicing the alphabet.
There we go. We'll be right back after this.